Noticed if you played the golf course lately, we've done a number of, or a good bit of sodding around the edges of the greens. Chronicled this a lot on the blog this year, but we converted our collars to 21 inches, and that involved some deterioration of the area that used to be mowed as collar, but is now mowed as putting surface. And we always knew that some of these areas were going to deteriorate and some were not going to be the way we wanted them, and that we had to use a bunch of sod in those areas. Luckily, we built this nursery a couple years ago, and it's performed very well for us. So as you can see right in front of us here, this is the area of the nursery which we had mowed to green height, and this has pretty much all been harvested, and we tried to be as efficient as possible as we harvested this sod, so we used as much of it as we could. Once we got it all out of there, we cleaned it up, added more soil. There's about 2 inches of soil we needed to add to this area, and that's a 80-20 or 80-15-5 mix, 80% sand, 15 or so % peat, and then this has about a 5% soil content. And once this is laid down, we drag it out with a Sand Pro with our bunker rake and get it as smooth as possible. There's a few little waves in there, but that's alright on a nursery. And then we applied about a pound of nitrogen from a product called Milorganite, which is sewer sludge from the Milwaukee Sanitary District. It's a product that's been around forever and is very effective at sort of building up the nutrients of a soil system. So we put that down. Tomorrow we'll put down a starter fertilizer and the bentgrass seed, and then you can see over there on the tree line some rolls of matting that'll be laid down across this to protect the seed and get a good germination this fall, and also protect the soil from any sort of erosion, both from any sort of fall rain events that we might get, and because the seed won't be completely established, anything we might get in the spring. So this is a process. Anybody who has a good turf nursery will use it, and they'll use it hopefully effectively, whether it's in making repairs like we did in this case, or sometimes they'll use it for some new construction. But generally a nursery is probably going to turn itself over and need to be redone about every 2 to 3 years for one reason or another, and that's about what we had here.